It is significant because even in my line of work as a counselor, as a therapist, I find so many people struggling with letting go. For those who we may not have met, as I've said, I'm Eliud Ngugi, a counseling psychologist. I'm also the founder Newness Counseling Organization, which is an non-governmental organization that offers mental health and counseling services. Letting go is powerful. The ability to release is more important than the ability to hold on. When you hold on to something longer than you should, in most cases, it ends up hurting you instead of benefiting you. It is therefore very important that we are able to learn this skill of letting go, which in itself comes as a package of letting go and attachment. Because if you are trying to let go of something, that means that you are attached to that thing and you are trying to detach. For as long as we are looking at letting go, we cannot fail to talk about detachment or attachment. And there are so many toxic attachments that most people are finding themselves into, and it becomes challenging and difficult for them to let go those things because they are so strongly attached such that detaching from that thing sounds like their end. Detaching from that person sounds like they are dying. Detaching from that thing, that experience, that opportunity, to most people, it sounds like I'm never going to live a happy and satisfying life without it. And I find so many people who think that they are weak. I find so many people who think that they don't have the energy to carry on with life. I find so many people who struggle to move forward in life. And at some point, they convince themselves that they don't have the power, they don't have the energy, they don't have what it takes to go higher or to get to the next level that they want to get to. But that is not always true. Because most of these people, it is not that they don't have the energy or the power to move forward. The power is there, but unfortunately, there's too much weight on their shoulders that is weighing them down, that is dragging them back. It's just like the way you could be carrying on your shoulders a 100 kg bag full of your favorite cash crop from home. Mine is potatoes. So you want to climb a mountain, Mount Kilimanjaro, and you have a 100 kg bag on your back full of potatoes. If at all you are going to make it up there, you're going to get on top 100% drained by the weight you have been carrying. To most people, it will be impossible to get on top. So you don't lack energy, you don't lack power to move forward, to carry on with your life. You're just carrying too much weight on your shoulders, such that the weight, the energy you have is being consumed and drained by the things you are unable to let go, by the things you are carrying on your shoulders. I'm not talking about the physical shoulders. I'm talking about your heart. Every time that you want to move forward, and there's a chain that you are tied to somewhere in a wall, every effort to move forward or reach out to something remains futile and it cannot bear fruits. Why? Because until you untie yourself from the chains that are being hooked into a war somewhere, into a job somewhere, into a relationship somewhere, into an argument somewhere, a hatred somewhere, a resentment with someone, a failed relationship, disappointments, unforgiveness, for as long as you are still hooked into those things, for as long as your heart is still hooked into those things, moving forward for you remains a nightmare or a daydream. If you are holding on to something, whatever it is in life, if you are holding on to a glass of water, if you are holding on to a cup of something, if you are holding on to a stone, if you are holding on to a rope that is tying you on a certain thing, nobody can be able to save you and hold your hand and put you on a safer ground until you release what you are holding and agree to hold your hands. If you want to be assisted by someone and you are still clinging on to something, you are still holding on to something, thinking that if I lose this, I'll never get better. If I lose this, I'll never get of similar quality or quantity. Let me tell you something. By so doing, you actually now eliminate all other possibilities of you actually getting something better. I've seen that a lot in romantic relationships. And most of the times it is used as a threat. If you leave me, you'll never find someone better than me. If you leave me, you'll never find someone like me. I have heard that a lot in relationships. So don't leave me, because if you dare do, you'll never find someone like me. And I don't know why though most people take that as a negative thing. When someone tells you that if you lose me, if you let go of me, you never have something like what I've been giving you, or you never find someone like me, that should be a motivating factor. Because if you think I'll never find someone like you, that means then that I have a possibility of finding someone better than you. Why do you always assume that when someone tells you that if you leave this job, you'll never find a better job? If you leave this organization, you'll never get a better organization. If you leave this institution, you never get another institution. If you lose this person who is helping you or holding your hand, you never find someone else to hold your hand. Why do people always take that as a negative sign that they are going to be miserable? Why don't you lean on the positive side, which is, I may not find exactly something like what I'm holding on today or right now, but I have a possibility of holding on to something better the moment I let go this. Everything changes. Everybody changes. Nothing is constant. And so life moves in circles and cycles. So if you do not let go the position and the situation you are in right now, you never get to enjoy any other experience or season in your life. It's just like, because you like a cold weather, you now hold on to a cold weather when it's cold. And so when the hot season comes in, you are crying that you have lost the cold season. And you forget that these seasons moves in cycles. Today it is winter, tomorrow it is autumn, The next day, spring. And so the cycle repeats itself time and time again. If you hold on to one season, you never get to enjoy anything that could be better coming from any other season that is right ahead of you. So, letting go is one thing that is going to empower your life and give you access to the power you have and the energy you have within to be able to move on with your life, to be able to carry forward with your life, to be able to take the next step, the next adventure. Fear of losing is one very common thing that holds most people back. Oh, I'm afraid of losing you. We are soulmates. And so if I lose my soulmate, I'll never find another one. Oh, I don't want to lose this opportunity. It's one in a million. It's one in a blue moon. I don't want to lose this job. I don't want to lose this. I don't want to lose this car. Nothing in this life is here to stay, whether you like it or not. That is not something that I say out of kindly understand or please you need to understand. No, there's no please on that. That whether you like it or not, nothing is here to stay. Everything is just passing by. Everything is just passing through. Unfortunately, even you, even I, we are all passing through. And so that which you have right now is also passing through. It's not meant to live the rest of its life with you. It is just passing through. And so when you have it and then you cling on to it, such that even when it is gone, you are suffering. But in most cases, even before it is gone, and there's nothing as unfortunate as this, that people who are afraid of losing something, they suffer the fear of losing while they still have the thing, and then they suffer the actual loss of having lost the thing at some point or another. So you cling so much onto your husband or your boyfriend or your very friend, mpoa, whichever. So you cling on to your spouse and you don't want to lose them. So instead of enjoying the adventure of being with them, instead of focusing on the present moment that you have it, you have them, where you have them, you are busy accumulating all the fear you can. I don't want to lose that person. I don't know what I can do without you. I cannot live without you. You are the apple of my eye. You are the beat in my heart. You are the thought in my mind. You are the what? The hemoglobin in my brain, the skin in my body. So you are everything to me. And so if I lose you, I lose everything. And that is now why you are afraid of losing that person, because you think and you have made yourself believe that this person is everything to me. This opportunity is everything to me. This job is everything to me. This relationship is everything to me. And so the day you lose it, because you will, you will, the day you lose it, then according to you, because you said that that thing was everything to you, then to you, you have lost everything. And if you have lost everything, you have nothing to live for. And if you have nothing to live for, then that means that you have something to die for. If I have nothing to live for, then I have something to die for. And that is why you hear someone, I can't believe she cheated on me. I can't believe he is cheating on me. I'm going to kill myself and leave a love note and leave a suicide note. And then you die, and then the night you die or the next day you die, The same person who you said you are dying for because I'm a cheat on you, that night they are enjoying their favorite sex style. Maybe even in the bed you used to spend the night with that girl or with that man. And now you are on the way, maybe to hell or to heaven, I don't know, mourning and crying because someone cheated on you. And the person who cheated on you, umemwacha akiumaumwa na akiumauma. You have died for nothing. So we need, even before we get to letting go, because I told you that letting go comes in handy with attachment. Because if you don't attach to something, then you will not have challenges letting it go. Because the reason why you are struggling to let it go, it's because you are so strongly attached to it. If in the first place you don't get too attached, then detaching will not be a problem. Every time that I have clients in my office, actually right now as I'm having this discussion, I'm in my office. So I delayed a few minutes to go home this evening. So I was like, I think 7:30 might find me somewhere along the way. And I don't think I'll be comfortable doing the session kwa barabara. So why don't I just wait and have the session in the office and then I can just go home. So many people come in the office, and especially those people who are going through loss and grief, those people who have lost their loved ones. So I lost my loved one and I can't believe that person died. I've not been able to let go. And so I asked them this question. Right now, as we are talking, there's a family that has just lost their loved one. I believe we have been talking for about 15 to 20 minutes around there. And within this time that we have been talking, we have hundreds of thousands of families which have lost their loved ones in the world. Because every second, several people are dying. Every second that passes by, several people are dying. So the question is, everybody who is here in this meeting, how many people are mourning and crying because a family somewhere in Jamaica has lost their loved one because that guy in that family decided to smoke too much weed from the grandfather's plantation. Well, I guess in Jamaica they plant weed, weed, bangi as ile maua tunapanda nyumbani kwetu. So unaona ile maua mnapanda hapo, even fencing. You want to fence to surround your piece of land, what we call now the live fence. The live fence in Kenya, you can find some certain trees. So I tend to believe that probably in Jamaica, a live fence is made of bangi, the weed, because people say that that's the place where those stuff come from. So there's a family in Jamaica which have lost their loved one. There's a family in China which has lost their loved one. There's a family in your village on the other end that has lost their loved one. Why are you not crying? And that person has died. And simply this person tells me, it's because I'm not attached to that person. That's why I'm not crying. I'm not crying because I don't know the person and I'm not attached to the person. Okay. So then that tells you that even when we mourn and suffer losing someone, I'm not saying that we shouldn't mourn. Mourning is okay, but suffering the loss is not. So when we suffer for weeks and months and years because someone has died, we need to understand one thing. We are not suffering someone dying. We are not suffering and we are not in pain because that person died. We are suffering because of the attachment we had with them. So we are suffering the attachment, not the death itself. Because if we suffer death, if we mourn death, anyone's death should cause you pain. Your neighbor's death should make you cry. Your cat's death should make you cry. A mosquito's death should make you cry. Because if death is what people suffered, anything revolving around death. Anyone dying, anything dying, we should then be mourning. So we don't mourn the death. We mourn the attachment we had with the dead. Because if you hated, if it is your enemy dying, we will find you in the church the next Sunday, you have doubled your tithe. That Sunday you have doubled your tithe, your 10%. Double. As a way of showing how grateful you are to God. God, thank you so much. You that one, I didn't see that one coming. You really surprised me with that. You killed my enemy? Ah, God. When say, wangu wewe. Listen, we are buddies. Thank you so much. So when your enemy dies, you shouldn't have enemies, but let's not have that conversation today. But when your enemy dies, you rejoice. When your friend dies, you cry. So you are not crying the death. You are crying the connection, the attachment. Anything that you are attached to, anything that you are attached to, whether you like it or not, at one point or another, it's going to cause you pain. You are attached to a child, the child dies, pain. You are attached to a spouse dies, pain. You are attached to a job dies, pain. You are attached to an organization that maybe gave you a certain opportunity, and you are attached to it, strongly dependent on it. If you detach, if it is gone, you are suffering. So we cause our own suffering by attaching so strongly to people and things. So when now we are looking at attachment, we are asking ourselves, and this is the question that I always receive or get when I'm talking about detachment. Eliud, do you want to tell me that I can be with my wife without getting attached to my wife? Do you want to tell me that I can live with my kids without getting attached to my kids? Do you want to tell me that I should live with my family, with my parents, with my co-workers, my job, my organization, my opportunity, without any attachment? Exactly. That is what I'm talking about. Because to most people, attachment means loss. But actually, sorry, not attachment. To most people, detachment. Detachment to most people means losing the thing. That if I detach from it, I lose it. But here is the fact. The moment you detach is the moment you gain. Because you will never lose something that you are not attached to. So if you will never lose something that you are not attached to, then that means that if you are not attached to something, then you never lose it. You will forever have it. Even when it is physically gone, and you are not strongly attached to it, you are detached, even when it is physically gone, you will not suffer. Why? Because you were never strongly attached. So detachment looks like this, especially in a relationship. That I love you so much with all my heart, with all my kidneys, with all my vessels in the body, with every, I love you with every sense, with every part of my being. I do love you. But let me tell you something. I'm not a slave to you. So the day you hurt me, the day I feel we are no longer matching, I will not force myself to stay with you, because by then I will not have figured you out as my everything. So you love, but you are not attached. I love you. I care about you. I'll protect you. I'll do everything that I'm supposed to do in this relationship. But let me tell you something. The day I realize this is not my thing, I'll not struggle to let it go. The day you decide to cheat on me, I'll not struggle to move on with my life. The day you decide to cheat on me, I will not find myself in a position of forgiving you, not because God says we should forgive, but because I'm afraid I'll never have someone else like you. But because I'm afraid I'll never continue enjoying what I was enjoying with you. So detachment looks like something like that. All right? So it is when you still care, you still love, but you are independent. That my wife can do something that is supposed to hurt me, but it will not hurt me because I have decided that she has her life and the choices she make with her life should not affect my life unless I decide that they will, unless I make them do. So detachment means then that you interact with the person, you relate with someone, but the choices they make, you don't give that person the power to control when you are going to smile and when you are going to cry, to control when you are going to be happy and when you are going to be sad. And in that connection, that tells you that you should not attach your happiness or your source of happiness to a person or a thing. Because if it makes you happy, at one point it will definitely make you sad. Because everything in this life is just like a coin. It has the good side and the other side. It has the face and the tail, just like a coin. That is the same reason why today you meet someone somewhere in a what? In a wedding. Let us try to make it a little bit more romantic and more memorable. So you meet a gentleman or a lady in a wedding somewhere, your friend's wedding or your cousin's wedding or your grandmother's wedding. Well, grandmother looks a little bit better. So let's say, for example, you meet someone, a guy in your grandmother's wedding. And in that wedding, after meeting this guy, you feel the goosebumps and the chemistry and the butterflies and all possible insects in your stomach. So you feel a lot of insects moving in your stomach. So the butterflies and all other insects. And for a period of 5 months, 1 year, or 2 years, this guy is making you the happiest woman in the face of the earth. You meet a woman, and for a period of time, several months, several years, this woman is making you the happiest man in the face of the earth. And then life happens. And then you start moving to the opposite direction. And after 10 years, that which you celebrated so much, that which you appreciated so much, that which made you so happy, that which gave you all the reasons to wake up and to eat and to drink and to go to the washroom and to live, now it's giving you all the reasons to want to kill yourself. Now it is giving you all the reasons to be sad. Now it is giving you all the reasons to hate this life, to hate yourself, to hate. You even curse the day you met that person, meaning that you are cursing your grandmother's anniversary, wedding anniversary day, which is not a very good thing, especially because you met him or her in your grandmother's wedding. You curse the day. But before you started cursing the day, you used to pray and you are like, God, thank you so much for giving me this guy. I bless you. I honor and bless the day that we met. Please make that day a holy day, because I will always live to celebrate that day. And then the tables overturn at some point. Now you are cursing the day. Why? Because you got so much illusioned by the chemical reaction you experienced. Well, when people say that they have chemistry, it makes sense, because everybody has chemistry, because you have chemicals in your body. But now when you met this person, you felt that amazing chemical reaction of romance and love. And then that illusioned you to strongly attach to this thing, because to this person, because you want to be forever feeling whatever you have just felt. So you want to feel that forever. And then that feeling, that chemical reaction within you becomes like a drug to you. And so you start craving, becoming compulsive,